When Rasulullah reached Zul Khulayfa, about 10 kilometers outside Medina, he entered Ihram. Then the companions followed him, and everyone was now dressed in white. And with one loud voice, all of them began to recite the Talbiyah.
لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
The leaders of Quraysh had left Mecca and gone up to the mountains to avoid seeing the happiness of the Prophet and the companions. They could not bear to see the Kaaba as the center of Islam. The Messenger of Allah entered Mecca on his camel Qaswa, followed by the companions. Some of the mushrikun men, along with women and children, were watching them from Darun Nadwa. When the Messenger of Allah entered the Kaaba, he uncovered his right shoulder. Then he said to his companions, "May Allah have mercy on the men who show these mushrikun their strength and energy today." The idolaters were watching the companions from behind and were amazed at their powerful stance. Because rumors had spread that the Muslims had become weak and fallen ill with fever after going to Medina. And this was how Rasulullah gave his answer. All the rituals of Umrah were fulfilled. Then the Messenger of Allah shaved his head and came out of Ihram, and the companions did the same. And so the dream that the Prophet ﷺ had seen exactly a year ago came true. For this Umrah visit, a tent was set up for the Prophet ﷺ, and the companions stayed in the tents around him for 3 days. At prayer times, they gathered at the Kaaba and prayed in congregation. During this time, they visited their relatives and told them about Islam through their words and behavior. They were setting an example for everyone with their attitudes and actions. During these 3 days, they were trying to conquer Mecca from within. For many of the Quraysh, hatred, anger, and prejudice towards their old friends had started to disappear. Everyone longed to have a warm talk with an old friend. Material swords were put in their sheaths, and the spiritual sword of the Quran came out. Since the peace began, it was that sword that carried out the jihad, and it seemed to be working. Once again, the Quraysh questioned everything they believed in and their stubbornness towards Islam. 3 memorable days had passed, and it was now time to leave. With the order of Rasulullah ﷺ, everyone prepared for the journey back, gathered their belongings, and set out for Medina. It's very hard to even imagine how painful that separation must have been. They were not the only ones feeling the pain of separation. It had been 1 or 2 years since Abu Basir settled in the Valley of Ease. During this time, the damage his group caused the Meccans had really exhausted the mushrikun. They realized that they could